Good evening, everybody. Uneducated Economist here. Wanted to read this email to you guys. Investors seeking advice about inflation and deflation. Hi, man. Hope all is well with you and your family. I was sincerely wanting to get your opinion on a few things because I trust your content more than other economic channels on YouTube. I watch most of your videos and I'm always trying to adapt to the currents. I was wondering specifically, what do you think is likely for the following asset classes in the next 6 months to a year out? Real estate, stocks, silver, gold, dollars, money market accounts, and whatever else you deem relevant. I wanted to ask because I feel very comfortable with inflation because I'm invested in real estate and commodities, but deflation scares me a lot. I wanted to know because many other channels I watch, like, he lists a few of them here, I'm just going to skip over, have been calling for heavy inflation, but I also trust your channel when you call for deflation. I was wondering about the Great Depression a little bit because of horrible things were then, and was wondering if you would ever expect it to get that bad in areas like New York, where I live. Now, I'm going to hold it off right there for just a second. Now, I want to start by saying I am not an investor. Please do not use my information for investment purposes. You can use it for entertainment purposes, you can use it for your own research, but please do not invest solely off the information that I give you. I don't invest. So why would you take investment advice from somebody who doesn't invest? Okay, so I want to leave it at that. I do a lot of research into the economy. I give you guys my opinion. I give you guys my opinion on what I believe is going to be happening. But I certainly wouldn't trust your life savings with my information, because I don't even trust my life savings with my information. I have no idea what I'm doing. I should be seeking out the advice of a financial counselor. Okay. All right. With that being said, let's talk about real estate, silver, stocks, gold, dollars, money market accounts, and whatever else I deem relevant. Cryptocurrencies. I deem those very relevant. Over the next 6 months. Now, I did a video not too long ago talking about what I expect to see over the next 6 months. And I expect the next 6 months to look pretty dang good for people. I expect the economy to be opening up. I expect a lot more people to be out spending money. I expect a lot of, I don't know how else to put it, but jolly good times. That's all I can say. And I see real estate probably doing pretty well during this time, not because of the things that I see happening in the economy, but because I just see the inventory staying very depleted. And if you have a very depleted inventory level, then the most likely the house prices are probably going to stay elevated as well. And that's what I see going on over the next 6 months. Silver and gold. Now this one, I have been very fond of silver. I believe that everybody should have some silver. There was a time that I believed in investing in silver. I thought that when you buy silver, you are going to someday be able to have, all the houses you want and all the cars you want because silver is going to be going to the moon. I really thought that. Now I look at silver in a much different way. Silver is my insurance policy. It's something that I have that is outside of the banking system. It's away from the third parties. I don't have to worry about an app on my phone or an envelope coming in the mail. It is mine to hold. That is very cool. There's not a lot of stuff out there like that. It's valuable, it's rare, it's useful. And I feel the same way about gold. I buy more silver than gold. I buy very little bit of gold, very little small amounts, like 10th ounces, maybe once every couple of years. I am not big into gold because of how expensive it is. However, silver, less than $40. You go down, you can buy a piece or two. It's very convenient, very easy. I am a fond believer in silver. Now, I wouldn't put my life savings into silver, but having a nice, fair amount of it gives you the ability to sleep at night and not worry about the other things that you have going on. So big time into silver. Dollars. A lot of people shake their head at me when I talk about the dollar, but I am also a believer in dollars. I have I have been on the deflation camp this entire time. And it's not because I don't see the destruction of the dollar from all the money printing. It's the way that money printing has injected the money into the system. It's all debt due back plus interest, and at some point they will have to face the piper, and that money is going to come due. When it does, the desire for dollars is going to be enormous. It's going to be huge. Money market accounts. I have a money market account and I see absolutely no use for it. I really don't have a whole lot of money, so having like a money market account that pays just a slightly better interest rate than, say, the savings account that I have, I really don't see much use for it at all. Now, if you were sitting on millions of dollars and you needed to use one of the money market funds, that's a little different than, like, say, having a money market account alongside of your savings account. But as of right now, with the interest rates as low as they are, I really don't see any use for a money market account. It ties your money up. It takes it, it doesn't give you as easy access to it. The one that I have is pretty easy. Like, I can draw out of it just like it was a savings account. So it doesn't really do anything different for me. Now, like I said, if the interest rates were to rise and you had a lot of money, then, it might be worth it to you, because then it would be easy access to cash, and plus you would get a little bit of an interest rate to it. But at this point, I don't see any use for it. Cryptocurrencies. I love cryptocurrencies. I have been a fond believer of cryptocurrencies pretty much since 2010, when I tried to buy my first Bitcoin. I've watched Bitcoin crash many times. I watched the Mt. Gox whole thing take place where, Bitcoin basically went to zero. I had all my cryptocurrency stolen from me at one point when I had given it all to a crooked exchange called Cryptsy. But even still, after learning all those lessons, I am still a fond believer in cryptocurrencies, especially Bitcoin. Now, I buy Bitcoin $50 a week every Thursday morning. I don't question the price. I don't try and time it. I just, every morning, Thursday, get a cup of coffee, sit down. I buy $50 worth of Bitcoin. I buy $50 worth of stock. So I guess if you want to call me an investor, that's about as close to investing as I get. I pretty much save my money. I save it in silver. I save it in cryptocurrencies. I save it in cash at the bank. And I know a lot of people are going to argue about the bank deposits too, but having a bunch of cash sitting at home is not safe. Same thing with having a bunch of metal sitting at home. Anybody who puts everything in one pile is just asking for it. So I spread it out all over the place, so there's nothing that I can really lose from one event. But cryptocurrencies, I put $50 into Bitcoin every single Thursday morning, and I buy $50 worth of stock at the same time. And I buy a very general stock, like it's a broad market ETF, Vanguard Total Market ETF, something like the Russell 1000 Growth. I don't know if these were smart moves or not. I just decided to do it. And then the other one was, what's the name of that? Altera, something. MO, I think, is the stock ticker on it. Now, those are not stock advice. Do not go and buy that because I happen to be putting it on this video. I mean, don't do that at all. The only reason why I bought it is because they happened to pop up when I was looking for them, and I was just like, okay, so I'm picking two things. I picked those two. No real reasons for it. I mean, as far as the ETFs that I picked, and then the Altera one, I was literally talking with my wife, and I was just like, really, I should find a stock to get into. I have no idea what I should pick. I mean, this was literally like 6-7 months ago I was talking. And throughout the day, I noticed so many people were still smoking cigarettes. Like, I thought when I was a kid, they put out this like campaign to try and get people to stop smoking, and the prices were going through the roof. And I thought, man, pretty soon cigarettes are just going to be gone. And they're going to, they'll just go away. And they haven't gone anywhere, not even close. So I realized that when I was like kind of walking around, I'm like, man, these cigarettes are just not going anywhere. Well, I don't know if Google was listening or what, but on the news feed pops up Altera, right? This company. So I, check out this news article on it, research the company a little bit. So I bought some. So that's what I buy. $50 worth of one of those three, whatever one happens to be the least amount in the portfolio at the time. I'll buy $50 worth of that one, and I buy $50 worth of Bitcoin. Over the last 6 months, when Bitcoin ran up, it was immense. Like, I couldn't tell you how much it had peaked out as far as like the portfolio, but I think at one point it had like came close to doubling, like maybe even more than that. I had I had deposited $1,500 into the stock portfolio and $1,500 into the Bitcoin side. I was using Cash App, by the way, for all this. And so I was putting $50 into each one of these. Now, the stock portfolio side of things, I'm up like $157 at this point. I think I have $1,650 invested. The same $1,650 invested into the Bitcoin side of things has a right around $2,100, even after the big old crash, even after it having doubled and coming all the way down to where it is today. I am still up dramatically more, like even better than 20% more than I would have been had I put it into the stock market. So to me, dollar cost averaging, saving your money in Bitcoin by doing $50 a week every single Thursday morning, for me, has totally worked out so far. I mean, times could change. I mean, tomorrow we could see another 50% come out of Bitcoin. We don't know. But at this point, I am still doing incredibly well in my Bitcoin. So I'm going to leave it at that as far as like what I do as far as investment goes, or savings is probably more of what I kind of consider it. But that's what I think that's probably covers what the gentleman in the email was asking for. But now I wanted to finish off this email because he also had something else to say inside of this that I thought was really important. And he says this, he goes, "I write this out of fear, to be honest. I usually don't voice my opinions on these matters, but I'm generally scared because I think people could get wiped out and possibly even start coming door to door to get people silver, commodities, or cash." Right? Anyway, hope this makes sense and keep on rocking. I'll send you a gift in the mail soon for all the help you've provided me and my family so far. With kind regards, Jeremy. Well, Jeremy, if you are going to take any advice from me out of this video today, listen to this part. Don't live in fear. See, living in fear is going to prevent you from growing. And now I've said this to many people in the past, and I'm not a crystal gripping hippie, whatever. I don't live life like that, but I know everybody carries energy inside of them. When you walk into a room, you can tell when somebody's upset. They don't have to say a word. You can just feel their energy when you walk into the room. You can tell when people are happy. You can tell when they are sad. You can feel that energy. And when you live in fear, what happens is that energy is moving from the core out to your extremities. It's in your feet and your legs. And you're put into this fight or flight mode, where everything is in this conscious, like, I've got to move, I got to be like ready to fight. And when you're in that kind of situation, when you're in that kind of energy, it's negative. And you'll have a hard time drawing in people to be positive with you because you're always in this fear. And you may not be mean or aggressive or anything like that, but that fear has that negative aura to it, that negative energy. When you're at peace, when you're at love, when you're at happiness, when you bring that energy to your core, when you feel that positive energy going, and you bring that to the people that are around you, you will draw in positive energy from them. You'll be able to grow as a person. You'll be able to advance through life. Things will be much easier on you. Don't live in fear. Living in fear is what they want. Look at all the headlines, even the headlines that I've even put in my articles or my videos. You know, inflation, the fear of inflation. Inflation fear eases. Fear. How many times, do they have to use this? Risk, fear, scared, nervous, all these words, they take that core energy and they move it out to your extremities and put you in that fight or flight. I find myself, I get irritated with some of the things that I find. I have to take it back and say, hey man, just take the information in, bring it to center again, try once again. But living in fear, and that's ultimately, if you were to have a they want to control us, then they will have us constantly living in fear. Fear of the other party, fear of what's going to come, fear of losing, fear of them winning. Don't live in fear. It's, it's not easy to do. You have to be nervous. You have to be conscious of what's going on. It's just like being out, I live around the Columbia River. I don't spend a lot of time out there on the river itself, but the guys who do really know that river. It's dangerous. You have to know what you're doing out there. There could be days out there like today, it's a nice day, it's calm. You could be out there motoring around and having a great time and never have any issues. You could do that 50 times in a row and think that you know what you're doing, and then one day you go out there and it is a mess. And if you are scared and don't know what to do, you're going to have a hard time out there. You're going to be scared when you get out there, but if you've been there before and you're prepared and you're ready, you're going to be able to handle it. And that fear is going to subside, and you're going to take the task at hand, and when it's all over, then you can be worried about it. But living in fear on a constant, no, don't do that. Okay? Uneducated Economist, you guys let me know.